Welcome to another edition of Breaking News brought to you by Source Selection Soundbites. Today we will discuss the case of Life Science Logistics, or LSL, decided at the General Accountability Office, or GAO. This case is a post-award bid protest objecting to how discussions were conducted en route to making an award. The solicitation, issued in accordance with FAR 12 and 15 procedures, sought a contractor to provide a fully managed service solution to a strategic national stockpile site. Two vendors responded to the solicitation. The agency evaluated the proposals and decided to enter discussions with the offerers. After engaging LSL and IQS, its competitor, the agency decided to award to IQS. Upon hearing the agency's decision, LSL decided to protest the agency's decision. The agency took corrective action, issued an amendment, re-evaluated updated proposals. This time, the agency found LSL's proposal to be unacceptable and awarded to IQS again. The protester argued that it submitted essentially the same proposal after the corrective action and subsequent amendment. So the significant weaknesses identified in this round of evaluations existed in the first round of evaluations that included discussions. Since discussions were held, the protester continued. The agency was required to point out the significant weaknesses that existed in the proposal, but the agency did not do so. The agency also asserts that meaningful discussions is not a factor because it evaluated the proposals de novo after the amendment. En route to finding against the agency, the GAO explained that meaningful discussions must lead an offeror into those areas of its proposal that require modification, amplification, or explanation. At a minimum, the agency must discuss all deficiencies, significant weaknesses, and adverse past performance information to which the offerer has not had an opportunity to respond. They continued that when an agency receives revised proposals, but it becomes aware of flaws that should have addressed earlier, it must reopen discussions in order to disclose its concerns, thereby giving all offerers similar opportunities to revise their proposals. In this context, GAO continued, the requirement to reopen discussions is predicated on the fact that the underlying evaluated concern should have been apparent to the agency when it initially evaluated proposals prior to conducting discussions. Since GAO found that LSL submitted the same proposal after the corrective action, the agency should have identified proposal flaws and addressed them with LSL. Since the agency did not do so, the protest is sustained. Now let's address a few of the lessons learned from this protest. They include: 1. Discussions must be meaningful. 2. Meaningful discussions addresses deficiencies, significant weaknesses, and adverse past performance to which the vendor has not had the opportunity to respond. And 3. If flaws should have been identified in the first evaluation but were not, the agency is required to reopen discussions. In this episode of Source Selection Soundbites, we discuss the LSL case, the meaning of meaningful discussions, and how they are handled when corrective action is taken. This concludes today's Source Selection Soundbite. If this video was helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any new material. If you want more details on the subject, they are available on the Source Selection Answer app. It contains lectures, quizzes, court cases, sample documents, and more material that allows practitioners to quickly obtain actionable knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.